Hey guys, what's up? Scotch Duck here, once again. Right, okay. This is going to be my review slash thoughts on Return to PopoloCrois, A Story of Seasons Fairy Tale. That is one of the worst fucking titles you can, ever get. Just don't give it a long ass title, ever. Even if it is a crossover of two different franchises and you kind of have some sort of, legal battle that you have to have the names in, but I don't know, anyway. Yeah. We're reviewing this game. Okay, now, oh fuck, I have a lot to say. Oh shit, this is gonna be a long video, okay? I'm warning you, seriously, because, well, okay, well let's start with this one, right? PopoloCrois is one of those franchises that no doubt my long-time, viewers will be fucking sick to death of me talking about, right? I love PopoloCrois, right? Here's the game right here for the PSP, right? PopoloCrois, okay? Nobody fucking knows about this game. It is extremely obscure, not even that popular in Japan, despite having a bunch of games in Japan. That PSP game is a compilation of, I think, two of the PS1 games, which was sort of remade, and we got it. I fucking fell in love with it. There's anime spin-offs, I've watched them all, and yeah, it was honestly a franchise that changed my life, you know? It was that good, I enjoyed it that much. So, imagine my shock when I'm on, I don't even know what it was, but I see the news for a new PopoloCrois game, which is a crossover of Story of Seasons, which we'll just call Harvest Moon from here on out. I see that, I already really like Harvest Moon, I just see that and I'm like, and if, literally my next thought was, wow, it would have been nice to have had that outside Japan. Because I knew they weren't going to release that outside Japan. There was no fucking way they were going to take something as obscure as that and release it outside Japan. Xseed, you're my boys, I love you. Yeah, Xseed actually localized it and released it outside Japan. Bless their hearts! They just take the most obscure shit and localize it. I love them for that. With that said though, this game is actually not out in America yet. And I was quite shocked at that because us here in Europe, we got it last week, digital only. Which I hate, which I really hate digital only releases, you know? But I'm not as salty about this as I was about, say, Yakuza 5, because if I really want to, and I'm pretty sure I will, I can import a physical version from America, that's in English, I play it on my American 3DS. Also, it's PopoloCrois. Of course I'm gonna fucking support it, in whatever form you buy it, okay? That's just how much that franchise means to me, and how obscure it actually is, okay? And, yeah, I think that's all, I think that'll do for the introduction, okay? But this is going to be not just a hard video because there's so much background I kind of want to give, but also because I have such extraordinarily mixed feelings about this game, you know? I just sort of beat it there, and this is actually what happened. I beat it there, that was after a week of sort of being on and off with it, and I was just oh man, because usually when I sort of beat a game that I want to review, I'm quite keen to just turn on the camera and start talking, but I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna have to sleep on this and think about it. And this was pretty cool actually, because I was talking to a friend on Skype, and he randomly brought up this game as I was describing this new PopoloCrois game to him. And he must have known... He must have known this, because I was like, holy shit, I feel exactly the same towards that game as I do towards this new PopoloCrois game. And that game we were talking about is this. Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World. Now, what's the comparison here? What does this have in common with this new game? Okay. Basically, and this is the best way I can put it, it's half-arsed, right? It is extremely half-arsed. You know, if you've played Dawn of the New World on the Wii, you know how they reused a bunch of the assets from the GameCube. The battle system isn't as deep. They have this weird tacked-on Pokemon mechanic, you know. It's not really as long as the last one. You know, it's nowhere near as deep in terms of just this big overall RPG experience. it feels very half-arsed. And that's what PopoloCrois, Return to PopoloCrois, A Story of Seasons fairy tale feels like. It feels extremely half-arsed, and I'm so sad to say that. But, not in exactly the same way, because obviously this is a crossover between, for the Harvest Moon games, and PopoloCrois. PopoloCrois is a very traditional sort of turn-based RPG. Harvest Moon games pretty much needs no introduction. It's a farming simulator, you know? And what you get is a very half-arsed PopoloCrois game and a very half-arsed Harvest Moon game, and they just sort of bung them together in some hope that they would work well together when they don't necessarily, okay? I mean, there is like a single-player mode here, like a storyline, an RPG to play. And if you want, you can actually concentrate on that, and the farming aspect sort of becomes a side thing that you do. You know, you can actually just ignore it if you want. And I guess really you could do that vice versa. You could concentrate on the farming, albeit you have to play through the storyline to unlock more farmland and more features. And that's probably where my conflict lies, because I didn't really go into this game wanting to play a sort of Harvest Moon game. You know, I went into it wanting to play a PopoloCrois game, and it just felt half-arsed, okay? So what feels half-arsed about it, right? Well, basically, the game doesn't even take place in PopoloCrois. It has a very sort of, like, spin-off-y feel to it, right? The story mode is really short, and the combat system is a lot more, it's a lot more simplistic than it was in, like, the PSP game. Funnily enough, there's actually an option to, do auto battle throughout the whole game, and as soon as I discovered that, I never went into proper battle again. Because even like the bosses in the game are so easy, you can just press start, do auto battle, put the 3DS down, go make a cup of tea, come back and the boss will be defeated. That's how, like, simple it gets in that regard, you know? There is like some genuine moments of like PopoloCrois nostalgia that really tugged at my heartstrings, you know? Especially with like some of the returning characters like Pietro and Narcia. That they pronounce Narcia, okay? Narcia. That bugged the shit out of me. It's like, why would you do that? But yeah, and there's like obviously some new characters as well, which I will be honest, I really like them. The two sort of main new characters are two brothers called Nino and Rue. And they feel like they came out of a PopoloCrois game, you know, I genuinely enjoyed them being in the game, I gotta say that. But yeah, most of the other music, outside of like the remixes from past PopoloCrois games, aren't really that good. Graphic-wise, it's okay. I can't really call it like amazing or anything, but it gets the job done. And it has a really weird way of controlling, and it's like, you can only move in 8 directions despite being able to use the analog stick. And when you do use the D-pad, Pietro will sort of like, he won't move right away, right? And then he'll start sort of walking, and then he'll break out into a run, right? And those controls are there when you're doing the farming, when you're trying to like spread seeds and water the plants, you know? Now, you probably won't be able to like picture that in your mind unless you actually play it. But with those movement controls that I just described, try like being in a grid of squares where you're supposed to, you know, plant seed, you're supposed to like plow it with a hoe, plant seeds and water it, and then make your way over to the next square and do the exact same thing. It's bloody torture, okay? You just always constantly like overshoot your square because you break into the run, or you're just trying to tap it and he won't move because he doesn't move right away. It's like, why did you make the controls like this for a Harvest Moon style of game? It's like, it's so terrible. It's alright for a JRPG, well-ish, because it doesn't really get in the way of like how you would play it in that sense, but I don't know, it's just, it's such a small thing, and I would even go so far as to say you get used to it, but the fact that they like made it like that and thought that was okay was like really bizarre to me. Let me think, what else do I want to talk about? I guess because this is a spin-off, this was actually a massive pet peeve of mine. I guess because this is a spin-off of the Harvest Moon games, and obviously besides farming, one of the big staples of the Harvest Moon games is to get married with a potential bachelorette by giving them gifts, building your relationship and all that. And then you get married after a big amount of time passes by, and it's awesome, and she moves in with you, you can have kids. It's a good thing about the Harvest Moon games. Well, this game has that as well. You meet these girls, Pietro is clearly flirting with them, gives them gifts, and apparently, once you get to the maximum level of affection or whatever, they come to your farm to live with you. Pietro already has a bird in this game with Narcia, okay? And this is going on. It's like they give this extremely flimsy excuse that becoming friends with these girls is good because they have some sort of special bond with the land, and being friends with them will help flourish and be good and all that, but it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. They kept in this sort of dating sim sort of thing, hastily brought over from the Harvest Moon games, and as a long-time PopoloCrois fan, it's shame on you, Pietro. What are you... You should not be doing this to Narcia, you scumbag, you know, it's that's all I could think about. After a while, I just ignored the sort of bachelorettes, you know, and just got on with the game. I ignored the farming aspect quite a bit because I started to focus on the last boss, the last few dungeons and all that. The dungeons themselves are also pretty half-arsed, you know, they're just a maze. You have a mini-map, and it's tempting sort of to fill up the mini-map and find all the treasure chests and that, but there's absolutely no thought put into the dungeons outside of that, you know, it's very, very simple, very simple. I suppose one thing I did like is that after you beat the main storyline, you can just basically keep going and treat it like a Harvest Moon game, you know, you can keep building crops, there's loads of side quests to do, you can obviously court more of the girls if you haven't done that already, and just keep leveling up your characters to whatever you want. So I guess I kind of liked that. I kind of liked how it kept going on even after the main story, you know, just like a Harvest Moon game should. But yeah, guys, see, upon downloading it and starting to play it and starting to question what I thought about it, I thought to myself, oh fuck, this is PopoloCrois, so I'm gonna have to make a video on this. And I might have to tell you not to go download it, which is what I don't want to do. But I really don't know if I can recommend this enough, okay? To the people who'd want to play this, if you want to play a JRPG, you're not going to get it here. If you want to play a Story of Seasons or a Harvest Moon game, you're not going to get that here, okay? What you're going to get with this is a weird combination of two franchises, and you'll have to like both franchises, okay? I think this isn't like if you like one, then you'll like the other. No, I feel like you have to like both, and that's only just to tolerate the game. Then you'll sort of feel a bit of then your love of whatever series you're into will sort of bear fruit a wee bit. It's such a weird feeling, it really fucking is. It's so hard to articulate this, I apologise. I don't know how long this video's already gone, but I only stuck with this game to the end because it was PopoloCrois, right? That's the final word I can say, you know? But at least I did stick with it. It wasn't so terrible that I just wanted to stop, right? This is an average game. It really is painfully average. It's the best way I can put it. Now, in America, this game's going to come out on a Tuesday. I don't know how well it's going to do. I would love to see it do well. For some miracle, the PopoloCrois games come back, or we get a localized versions of the PS1 games that we never got. This is me punishing myself because I shouldn't get my hopes up like that, because it's not going to happen. You should count the blessings that we even got this game in the first place, so yeah. That's that, guys. I'm gonna go play Bravely Second in Project Cross Zone 2 now, which will probably be a lot better than this. But I hope you enjoyed the video, so yeah. See you after. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.